Tor, how you doing? Good evening. How you been? Good to see you. Tonight we have a lot of things to go through as well. A lot of news. We have news from Ripple, news to go from predictions on the market, different perspectives, the federal prosecutor news to go through as well regarding a new investigation inside the crypto space. A lot of news to discuss as well. Hi, Miles, the CMF. Dennis, good to see you as well. How you doing? Joe, evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Paul saved the market. Yep, Paul saved the market. By declaring that basically inflation is where it is, it actually helped the market as well because crypto once again is being seen as a hedge against the market. So yeah, it definitely helped the market. Good evening, brother Miles. I'm always looking forward to seeing you. Let's go, funky brother. I'm always looking forward to seeing you as well. How you been? Just hit the MacBook. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Manny, good to see you as well. How you doing? There we go. George, good to see you as well. How you doing? By the way, thank you so much to everyone that's been retweeting this live show as well, right at the beginning of the live show. Honestly, thank you so much to everyone that's been retweeting this live show right at the beginning. Denise, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles of CMF. KDC, good to see you as well. How you doing, brother? Good night, Miles and CMF family. Let's go. So, by the time everyone joins in, I'll go through a gist of what we're going to be talking about on tonight's live show. Professor Miles and the students, good evening. Let's go, funky brother. Okay, on tonight's live show, we're going to be discussing a lot of things. One is the Ripple CTO, David Schwartz, depending on essentially how much XRP he's still holding and has he sold any of his XRP to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, essentially. The other news we're going to talk about on tonight's live show is also regarding federal prosecutors. They're going after a new crypto platform. A lot of crypto platforms have been looked into, but this one is a bit of an odd one to be looked into, essentially. Also, we're going to go through regarding the Fed report as well on tonight's live show. We're going to be going through regarding Senator Lummis. Senator Lummis is now challenging the DOJ stance on private crypto wallets as well. We'll go through her perspective. We're also going to be going through the no anti-crypto agenda at the SEC. Apparently, the SEC is not against crypto, according to a former SEC member. We're going to be talking about the US spot Bitcoin ETFs report, 5 straight days of outflows, totaling $635 million. We'll go through that as well regarding the market aspects. Regarding BlackRock and funding a new company that's going to be in tokenizations inside the crypto space and a crypto project that is kind of involved as well. We'll go through that. We're going to be going through El Salvador and how much they're advancing in tokenization as well, and maybe other countries will follow in suit. We're going to talk about BlackRock. We're going to talk about Bitcoin assets worth $175 billion secured by ETFs as well. ETFs countries, according to a new VanEck report on how much countries and Bitcoin, essentially any sort of institutions within Bitcoin, or how much are they holding regarding BTC holdings. We're going to go through the UK government on their new cryptocurrency report that was recently published. We're going to talk about Tron, the CEO, Justin Sun, on his perspectives on the market space. We're also talking about BitHavit, who is now opening their doors to staking within the European markets, which is massive. We're also going to be talking about the University of Pennsylvania introducing the first ever Ivy League master degree in artificial intelligence. AI has made itself a course within universities, which I think should have been, a course within universities a long time ago. There's a lot of useless courses within the educational system, and AI is a great one to have within the educational system. Blockchain also. We're also going to be going through the legendary investor Cathie Wood on her predictions on the Bitcoin market as well on tonight's live show. So quite a lot of wide things to go through on tonight's live show. So before we do that, I will say a disclaimer. Let's see who else has joined as well. Good evening, Miles of CMF. Iman, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles of CMF. Mike, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Even the Miles of family. How you doing, Ian? Good evening, Miles and all CMF. Addy, good to see you as well. How you doing? Free and Forever. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Hyper Snapper, good to see you as well. How you doing? So, if you are new and you're joining in this live show for the first time ever, this is called the CMF live show where we discuss what's happening around the world inside the crypto space, and we talk about recent events regarding the blockchain space in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, and politics, because it all plays into one. We also talk about artificial intelligence as well. We do Q&As on this live show as well, which means if you ask the questions, I give you the answers, essentially. And the disclaimer of this live show is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. So, the live show has officially started now, and the first news we're going to be going through is regarding Ripple's CTO on how much XRP he's holding and has he sold any XRP according to rumors to acquire more Bitcoin and Ethereum, or he's holding his own XRP, which we'll go through that right now. Cameron, good to see you as well. How you doing, brother? So, first news of the day is this: Ripple CTO. Pure, good to see you as well. How you doing? Perfect timing. About to go through the first news of the live show. Ripple CTO held 26 million XRP, says he's never sold XRP for other cryptos. So there was rumors going around that David Schwartz was technically dropping or dumping his XRP on people and buying Bitcoin and Ethereum with his XRP money. Turns out those rumors were false, according to David Schwartz himself. Ripple CTO David Schwartz has publicly declared he used to hold 26 million XRP, noting he never liquidated his XRP tokens to acquire other cryptocurrencies. So he's never sold his XRP to buy other cryptocurrencies, but he has sold some of his XRP. We'll go through on why he sold some of them. Schwartz made this disclosure recently on X while engaging in a debate with Charles Hoskin, essentially the founder of Cardano. During the conversation, Schwartz and the founder of Cardano had a stern disagreement, sparking intrigue from essentially other members inside the crypto space community. Billionaires arguing, "Good Lord," remarked a user on X. However, Ripple's CTO refuted the billionaire title, a trend he has persistently held onto. Meanwhile, another commentator went on to claim that Schwartz sold billions of XRP to buy Ethereum tokens, essentially, and established in a statement from the SEC. So the SEC claimed that David Schwartz sold his XRP to buy Ethereum. Turns out that's false. Well, I mean, there's no surprise. The SEC lying? I mean, who saw that one coming? Gary Gensler lying. Never saw that one coming. On this premise, the Ripple executive set the record straight by disclosing his XRP holdings while dispelling the billionaire status persistently. Ripple CTO held 26 million XRP. In particular, David Schwartz revealed that he had approximately 26 million XRP when he held more cryptocurrencies. This disclosure suggests that Ripple's executive now holds less XRP during his peak holding period. Recall that Schwartz stated that he holds between 1 million and 10 million XRP, as the Crypto Basics uncovered recently. Furthermore, the Ripple CTO asserted that he liquidated some of his Bitcoin holdings to acquire more XRP and Ethereum. However, he noted he has never sold XRP tokens to acquire other cryptocurrencies. So, according to David Schwartz himself, there's a bit more to go on as well, but according to David Schwartz himself, CTO of Ripple Labs, he's never sold his XRP to buy other cryptocurrencies with the money. And he's sold Bitcoin before to buy more XRP and Ethereum. Interesting one there. Except for some unusual purposes, I don't think I ever sold XRP to buy another cryptocurrency, Schwartz revealed. Sold some XRP to manage risk is the only thing he's done. Meanwhile, Schwartz faced more questions about how he essentially divests his XRP, particularly whether he sells it when he requires funds. In response, the Ripple CTO noted that he adapted a reasonable risk minimization strategy for his cryptocurrency holdings. Based on the disagreements, he sells BTC and XRP whenever they reach all-time highs. Furthermore, Schwartz highlighted that he adapted the risk management strategy as he is naturally very risk-averse. Now, per the disclosure, incurring losses in some essentially investments hurts him more than any wines, I am not by nature a person who is comfortable with risk. I get a little joy from wins and really feel losers. When next is short selling his XRP? When questioned about the time frame for his next XRP sales, the Ripple CTO mentioned that he would probably acquire the next time he receives XRP as a payment. He clarified that this is because of tax implications. The Ripple CTO explained that he's receiving a cryptocurrencies as compensation typically involves selling some to cover withholding taxes. So, according to David Schwartz himself, the Ripple CTO, he only sells XRP for tax purposes. He's never sold his XRP to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin. But according to the SEC, he sold XRP to buy Ethereum, apparently. And he's never sold his XRP to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other cryptocurrency, according to himself. He's only ever sold Bitcoin to buy more XRP and Ethereum. And he only sells XRP for tax purposes sometimes. So for anybody that thought maybe David Schwartz is dumping on people, incorrect. He hasn't. But according to the SEC, he has. So who's lying? Is it the SEC or David Schwartz? If I had to take a guess, based on the SEC's background, based on Gary Gensler's background, based on the SEC background, based on the SEC's debit box case, I would have to say the SEC is lying because, well, the SEC had to, let go of 2 lawyers because of the debit box case scenario for lying to a federal judge about a crypto platform that was apparently stealing money from people when they weren't. Is it true that the SBI CEO said all banks in Japan will use XRP, and will they use it? Okay, good question regarding that. Pierce, good to see you as well. Evening, how you doing? Stormy, good to see you as well. How you doing, Stormy? Brother, any news on XRP? That was the first one we have related to XRP. We're going David Schwartz. Pierce, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening. Now, the question from MQ. So is it true that SBI CEO said all banks in Japan will use XRP, and will they use it? Okay, regarding Japan, any banks under SBI Holdings, declared that they're going to be using XRP, so yes. Any banks under SBI Holdings, yes. Any banks affiliated with SBI Holdings, yes. If there are banks that are not affiliated with SBI Holdings, then obviously no. Now, regarding are they all going to be using it? Most likely, yes. It's a high probability, incredibly high probability, also coming from SBI Holdings. So the answer to that is yes, but if there's a bank affiliated with SBI Holdings, then it's a yes. But if it's a bank that's not affiliated with them, then obviously it's a no. Even the Miles and Crypto Peeps, Sample, good to see you. How you doing? So all in all, good news regarding SBI and Ripple Labs yesterday. The person sold BTC to buy XRP. My opinion, that's wrong. Move selling BTC to buy something else. Well, Chozone, I understand where you're coming from as well regarding selling BTC. A lot of people sell BTC on high profits, but he probably had his reasons of why he wanted to go for more XRP when he sold his Bitcoin. Everybody has their own reasonings on why they sell their Bitcoin, why they sell their Ethereum, why they would sell their XRP, why would they sell any particular crypto project. So I'm guessing David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple Labs, had his own opinions on that matter regarding that moment in time of why he sold his Bitcoin to buy more XRP and Ethereum. I'm guessing he bought more Ethereum because ETFs are on the way for Ethereum, which is going to boost the price, and XRP because the lawsuit is about to come to an end. So both of them seem like viable options. When do you think they will start using it? And does SBI Holdings have loads of banks under it? Yes, SBI Holdings is affiliated with a lot of banks, a humongous list of banks. I mean, he should have keep his BTC and buy XRP at the same time, which is a fair point. Which I understand as well, which is a fair point. But yeah, a lot of banks are affiliated with SBI Holdings, and also a fair point from Chozone regarding, he should have kept his BTC and sold his XRP. What is going on here? For a second, my notes disappeared, but they came back. Hello, Miles and CMF Coin. Good to see you. How you doing? I don't see why I would buy BTC when I can buy XRP, is what Camel said. Now, going into the next news. Coin, good to see you. How you doing? Semper, good to see you. How you doing? The next news is this on tonight's live show. Federal prosecutors investigate Block's crypto services. So Jack Dorsey's company, Block, which is going to be setting up Bitcoin mining institutions in quite a list of African countries. They're going to be putting up portable Bitcoin mining machines. That's going to be providing free electricity to quite a lot of African local communities within the countries they do establish themselves, and also not only provide free electricity for local communities, but also free Wi-Fi and charging stations for motorbikes, for example. Now, this company is being investigated by the federal prosecutors for some odd reason, but the odd reason is a bit weird. Federal prosecutors investigate Block crypto services. Federal prosecutors are closely examining Block's cryptocurrency division and collaborating with informants to look into the business compliance procedures. The company that Jack Dorsey co-founded allegedly solicited cryptocurrency transactions connected to illicit activities. By illicit activities, they mean a particular word I cannot say on this live show, which starts with T. It starts with T. It's a group of people, and the word starts with T. I can't say that word right now on live show anymore. And sanctioned nations because of their efficient checks and sources. So apparently, this group that starts with T has been moving around money in Jack Dorsey's company. Yet, according to the publications, Block, Square, and Cash App divisions have widespread years-long compliance lapses that go much deeper than it's essentially lenient on cryptocurrency policies. A former employee of Block is cited that thousands of dubious transactions went unreported to the US Office of Foreign Asset Control, or the OFAC, which imposes economic penalties. From the ground up, everything in the compliance section was flawed, the employee claims. So a former employee of Jack Dorsey's company, the Block, apparently came out and snitched on everybody and said that Jack Dorsey's company is doing illicit activities with sanctioned nations and illicit groups of people around the world and moving around money for them. Now, we don't know who this employee is, or if this could be true. If it is, that's a bit messed up for Jack Dorsey's company, because then that's the next company to go downhill. More than 100 pages of allegedly internal firm data, including details of correspondence between the Block and sanctioned nations, including Russia and Iran, has recently, as of last year, was sent by ex-employees to the journal. So apparently Jack Dorsey's been doing business with Russia and Iran behind the scenes. Transaction. And since what's going on with Iran and Russia regarding transactions and the wars that are going on, Jack Dorsey's not looking too good right now. The correspondence trial supports allegations that Block carried out on enabling transactions with sanctioned organizations even after it learned about their improper use of its services. Block insisted that it did not intentionally break any international restrictions. Block, the firm, claimed in a statement that it already regularly screens all the merchants for sanctions and that an in-house legal team outside of lawyers and consultants are advising on the issue and appropriate remediations. Hoping that doesn't go sideways for Jack Dorsey, because then his hopes of bringing up or building a whole Bitcoin company is about to go to the toilet. Now, before we go to the next news, which is the Fed report, let's go to the comment section. So, when do you think they will start using it? When do you think they will start using it? Does SBI have a lot of banks, and 2025 essentially is what they claim they're going to be using it as. I don't see why you will buy this. Yep. Is there any news on HBAR regarding a company called Diamond? No news on HBAR regarding a company called Diamond. No. What up, Miles on Ray? Ray, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Is Ox a good coin? Derek messaged me. Let me take a look into it and I'll give you comprehensive feedback. No problem. Any comments on ETN? On which ETNs? Are new ETNs coming out? Is that what you're requiring to? What's up, brother? Brother Miles and CMF? Billo, good to see you as well. How you doing? XRP news. The first news we went through was regarding David Schwartz, how he's been selling some of his Bitcoin to acquire more Ethereum and XRP. Mav, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. Let's go. How you doing, Mav? Now, the next news about to go through is quite an important news because it's about the Fed reports. Jerome Powell basically saved the market space. Jerome Powell's pivot hurdles a boring summer for Bitcoin. Just a few months ago, most economics expected the Federal Reserve to kickstart rate cuts by May. All signs pointed to this. The fight against inflation appeared to be coming to an end. Jobs data promised a cooling labor market on the horizon, and consumer confidence began to falter. Fast forward to May's Federal Open Market Committee (FOMC) meeting. However, the hopes of a rate cut in the first half of 2024 are quickly diminishing. Indeed, it appears likely the Fed may hold rates where they are for much longer than anyone have imagined back in January. Some market commentators even think we're stuck with higher for long until 2025, despite the pressure of imminent presidential elections. Whether rates stay put until September or next January, the May FOMC meeting was certainly a far cry from December 2023, when the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell first mentioned rate cuts, sending markets into a frenzy. Now we're seeing a much more hawkish committee, resolute in its restrictive monetary policies, stance in the face of stubborn inflation and labor market that refuses to stumble. But while disappointing for risk assets like stocks and cryptocurrencies, the Fed's stance shouldn't be surprised for anyone who follows economic data. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the PCE index, rose to 2.7% in April from 2.5% in February. The CPI index was reimagined, essentially similarly sticky to rising again from 3.2% in February to 3.5% in March. This has been fueled by rampant spendings, with consumer preferring to take on more debt, essentially rather than tightening their belts. In fact, the savings rate in the US has constantly declined from 4.1% in January to just 3.2% in March, while household debt levels keep beating previous records. On top of this, employment has failed to edge higher. The jobless rate fell from 3.9% in February to 3.8% in March, hovering around historic lows. So even through the economically, essentially, is beginning to slow down. The first quarter of GDP growth surprised the downside, coming at essentially 1.6% against expectations of 2.4%. We're still long away from economic slowdowns, and that would warrant simultaneously, essentially, in the form of rate cuts. Indeed, Jerome Powell has always been clear with the Fed's monetary policy decisions will be driven by data and data alone, and the data simply doesn't support loser stance yet. As expected, the markets have been taking this disappointment badly. Bitcoin was hovered between $60,000 and $65,000 in the week leading up to the FOMC meeting, and global stock markets was essentially subdued as expectations of a hawkish pivot moment. Controversially, the dollar strengthened, battering essentially other global currencies like the yen, which fell to its lowest level against the dollar since 1990. Other major essentially market currencies can be expected to follow as well. And the bad news is that we're likely stuck with this picture for a good few months. This will be a real major situation for those who expected Bitcoin halving to drive a bullish breakout to all-time new highs. After some rampant price actions over recent months, no one is ready for another extended period of sideways trading. It's akin to the lights going essentially to a nightclub when the party is just getting started. As long as the Feds hold steady through, Bitcoin is likely to trade essentially with a tight range below 70,000, barring any major essentially global disasters causing a fight to steady. So far this year, Bitcoin hasn't really essentially cared about microeconomics. It's shrugged off the last few inflation announcements, but the Fed stance will have more profound effects. The reality essentially is that BTC is now deeply embedded into traditional financial markets thanks to spot ETFs, so it will most likely mimic the behavior of other assets, until rates again essentially come down. It's true, because Bitcoin is inside the ETF market space, which means it's on the traditional financial aspects as well. It does tend to follow and essentially mimic the stock market as well. However, cryptocurrencies are still seeing a hedge against this inflation. So even if we don't have rate cuts so far, it's still a positive for the crypto space. So thanks to Jerome Powell, we're in for a boring summer that will truly test investors' patience. That's not to say we're essentially be another Bitcoin party. It's coming, and it will likely rival or perhaps even surpass what we've already seen this year. Over the long term, the Bitcoin investment thesis remains intact. Indeed, while Prom's renowned hawkishness is buying the US dollar for now. It's only a matter of time until the Fed finally pulls the plug, causing renowned dollar weakness. Once the greenback begins its slide, Bitcoin will provide a refuge from the currency devaluation. Then the US spot BTC ETFs will truly come into their own, and those who can hold onto their assets and wait and drought will be rewarded. Until then, perhaps it's not such a bad idea to leave investment portfolios alone and go and enjoy the summer. Incorrect. Okay, that's one perspective, but I mean, obviously, the Fed's report is not a perspective. The person that did the article, the journalist, he's giving nice perspectives. And I can understand, obviously, there is no market. We're not going to have rate cuts so far because the Feds have not come out with rate cuts. But look, if we have rate cuts, then investors become a lot more riskier with their money, which means they go towards much more riskier assets when we do have rate cuts. So which means more money into the crypto space. Now, if we don't have rate cuts, and according to the Feds, we're still going to be going on one straight line. The inflation is where it is. It's not ramping up higher, but it's just also not sliding downwards. So it's staying where it is. That's also not a bad thing for the crypto space because it's still seen as a hedge against the inflation. So if we don't have rate cuts and we stay where we are, crypto can still be seen as essentially a hedge against the crypto space. Traditional finance. So crypto can be seen a hedge against traditional finance. If we do have rate cuts, then investors will become a lot more riskier with their assets, which means they go for the crypto space essentially. So either way, we're looking good on the Fed report. So that's why the market started picking up because of Jerome Powell. Now, go in the comment section before we get to the next news. The next news we're going to be going for on tonight's live show is from Senator Lummis and how essentially challenging the stance on private crypto wallets. Hello, Miles and CMF. Flea, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles and everyone. Good to see you as well, Orphan. How you been? Messi, good to see you as well. How you doing? How will XRP Ledger help JPY going back up? How will the XRP Ledger help Japan going back up, their economy? Well, their payments can become a lot more efficient. It shows transparency within their transactions. It will lower the costs on transactions, which can also help in the banking sector. It can help businesses as well. There's a lot of aspects to benefiting from using the XRP Ledger regarding the Japanese banking systems. Hi, CMF and Miles. Crypto J, good to see you as well. How you doing? A lot of benefits on the aspects. Now, Senator Lummis is the next news to go from tonight's live show. So, Senator Lummis challenges the DOJ's stance on private crypto wallets. Senator Cynthia Lummis argued that the Department of Justice position on crypto self-custody conflicts with existing Treasury guidance and breaches the rule of law. Lummis says she opposes the Biden administration criminalization efforts related to Bitcoin, BTC network, and decentralized finance, DeFi. I am deeply concerned by the Biden administration criminalizing core tenets of Bitcoin network and decentralized finance. The Department of Justice stands as essentially promoted legal actions against cryptocurrency entities such as indictments against the Bitcoin Mixer, Samurai Wallet, and Tornado Cash developers Roman Storm for unlicensed money transmissions. Yes. Okay, regarding Tornado and Samurai, major issues regarding them. They created a platform where people can easily wash their crypto money. Now, let me just put one thing clear. I get that essentially, Tornado Cash and Samurai Wallet, or in this instance, let's just keep with Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash created a platform where it explicitly can be used for washing money, let's say. Okay, they created a platform within the crypto space where people can put their crypto technically inside of a blender and it comes out the other side clean. And then now they're wondering why they're being investigated by many government entities and most likely the FBI. You create a platform that has a main purpose of washing people's cryptocurrency money. If you didn't see that coming, then you're a moron. If I create a platform that can be explicitly used by criminals, and I know it can be used by criminals, and then one day the FBI comes knocking on my door, how could I have not anticipated that? It makes no sense regarding Tornado Cash. They could have created any other platform within the crypto space, but they decided to create a platform where you put your crypto inside of a blender, it comes out the other side clean. So you telling anybody else, you never saw this coming, you never saw the day the FBI coming knocking on your door is a bit odd. You created a platform which could be used for washing cryptocurrencies, and you're wondering why you're being arrested, and essentially your platform is about to be taken down. It's a bit odd. Now, the Department of Justice stands as a prominent legal actions against cryptocurrency entities such as Tornado and Samurai. The cryptocurrency community, led by advocacy groups like Coin Center, has strongly opposed the DOJ's interpretation. Every functioning cryptocurrency wallet and smart contract is doing money transmissions, and every developer is engaged in unlicensed money transmission, said Peter Van. And I understand there's a lot of people coming out trying to support Tornado and trying to support other platforms like Tornado washing cryptocurrencies. But essentially, you're throwing everybody else under the bus. Because you just stated Everybody inside the crypto space needs some sort of a license to operate on the crypto space. This is what he said, word for word, to support Tornado. Every functioning cryptocurrency wallet and smart contract is doing money transmission, and every developer is engaged in unlicensed money transmission. You just snitched on the entire crypto space. That's not really a good defense, Peter. Peter, the director of research at Coin Center, noting that his stance contradicts FinCEN's established guidelines. Peter's the last person I want to represent me in anything. Coin Center has also filed an ambitious brief in support of Roman Storm, asserting that the publication of Tornado Cash Code is protected under the First Amendment. Let's just hope everything goes well for them. But Peter, bad example, very bad analogy to use, to throw everybody else under the bus because of Tornado. Now, before we go to the next news, which is a very strange news coming out the SEC, a former SEC lawyer who now works for a pro-crypto firm as a lawyer, essentially came out and said the SEC is not against crypto technically. And we'll go through essentially what she means by that. Hi, will the XRP ledger help? We went through that. Crypto Jacob sees what I do. Miles, how can I learn about your startup project? You want to learn about my startup project? No problem. You can go to coinmove.one. If you go to coinmove.one and go into the investment section, if you go to the investment section, you can put down your email, and then through your email, you'll receive a PDF documentation of what CoinMove has been up to so far and what we're building. So you go to the investment section on CoinMove's website. What's up, Miles, and what's up, CMF? Kerry, good to see you as well. How you doing? So the next news we're going through is this one. No anti-crypto agenda at the SEC, confirms ex-staff lawyer. Former SEC lawyer Lawden Stewart confirms there is no anti-crypto agenda, emphasizing regulation focuses on investor protection and growth. Lawden Stewart, formerly a lead crypto enforcer at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), has recently provided clarity on the position of the agency towards cryptocurrencies, stating that there is no anti-crypto agenda apparently at the SEC. Stewart, who worked for the SEC's Division of Enforcement for more than 8 years, shared her experiences and understandings of the Commission's approach to essentially policing this rapidly changing industry. While working with this firm, Stewart headed the specialized crypto trial unit, which dealt with high-profile cases against such big entities. Now, just to put in perspective, okay, Stewart is a former, essentially ex-SEC lawyer. Now is working with a new law firm who is in favor of cryptocurrencies. But Stewart was the same person that brought the case inside the SEC up against Ripple and Coinbase. She stressed that the SEC is technological neutral and faces only one challenge, which is the protection of investors. The central point, as claimed by Stewart, revolves around the fact that investors should be provided with proper disclosures on the risk of crypto investments. The SEC's crypto regulations aimed at investor protection. Stewart emphasized the regulatory actions of the SEC were not directed at stifling innovation, but sought to make investment environments safer. Through compliance, enforcement, and transparency assurance, the SEC aims to shield investors from inherent risks and essentially dominate the cryptocurrency markets. They're doing a very poor job at it, Stewart. Stewart, I've never met you. Till this day, I didn't even know you were an SEC lawyer. But now we do know that, a former SEC lawyer. Stewart, I understand where you're coming from. You know, you're trying to explain that the SEC is not really against the crypto space. They're just trying to come out and show full transparency and protect investors. I'll be honest, Gary Gensler is doing a very poor job at protecting investors. He also lies in court. How do you explain the debit box scenario, Stewart? And, you know, again, this is towards Stewart, because how do you explain debit box's case with the SEC essentially going against, lying in a federal judge court, lying about how much money they're taking out the country, freezing their bank accounts, and then reopening their bank accounts again because they couldn't prove anything and 2 lawyers had to be let go. And then you have the SEC going against every single crypto platform on this planet. And then you have the SEC essentially going against Coinbase. A company where they greenlighted for it to go public and then they went after them. Or going against Ethereum, where they greenlighted it for years and now they're going to stifle them. Or even Ripple Labs, where they lied in court and dropped multiple cases. There are so many issues wrong with the SEC. I just can't see the scenario of essentially the SEC is trying to bring full transparency and help the crypto space. Cannot see it in any sort of a way. They lie in court. Gary Gensler said on live news he doesn't care about the judge's opinions. His opinion only counts. They can't provide evidence. They lied multiple times. They made Coinbase go public and then sued them into the ground. So many issues wrong with the SEC. Do not see it in favor of CryptoPods. The former SEC lawyer emphasized that the regulatory framework should be clear and comprehensive and support both the growth and safety. The discussion has often been overwhelmed by the fear that harsh measures might drive innovation out of the US. However, Stewart is essentially of the opinion that the SEC reviews are meant to simulate the market and protect the investors further. She emphasized the importance of the continuous dialogue and cooperations between the regulators and crypto community that helps in dealing with and sorting out regulation tensions. Transitioning to private sector to bridge gaps. Following her tenure with the SEC, Stewart entered private practice, becoming a partner at White and Case LLP. In her new position, she's dedicated to leading crypto companies through the stretches of the US laws. Her objective is to assist some companies to strike a middle ground between innovative growth and compliance with legal standards. Stewart transfers the private sector essentially indicates her ongoing faith in the possible advantages of blockchain technology and her determination to help essentially in the cooperation of the financial markets. During the talks on the future of crypto regulation, Stewart emphasized the importance of directions of balanced enforcement actions applied to both token issuers and intermediaries, such as exchanges. This method also guarantees a wider influence on market practices, and many aspects of the industry are dealt with at once. Her insights reveal an evolution in enforcement strategies, moving or focusing solely on issuers to include major trading platforms which play a pivotal role in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Stewart is an absolute moron. Uh, you know, she's first talking about how essentially the crypto space is, the SEC is helping the crypto space in some orderly way, which in reality they're not. They're lying to federal judges, lying on national news, hiding documentations. There's so many other major issues wrong with the SEC. But then you also have, Stewart, who is saying SEC is good, but leaving the SEC to go pro crypto for a law firm. Odd in every aspect. Very odd. Before we go to the next news, which we're going to talk about the ETF situation. BlackRock's ETF, Fidelity's ETF, Grayscale's ETF, and essentially how much money is exited these ETFs, if it has exited in any sort of a way. Because of the market come to a halt, which we talked about yesterday at the end of the live show. She's Gary's ministry. Ripple is pretty transparent. Morning, Miles and family. Shelly, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? They are all lies and more lies to confuse us, all while they make millions for themselves. Facts. Hello, Miles and family. Anna, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been, Anna? So, US spot Bitcoin ETFs report 5 straight days of outflows, totaling $635 million. On Tuesday, the US spot Bitcoin Exchange Traded Funds ETF registered their 5th consecutive days of net withdrawals, documenting a substantial $161.6 million in negative outflows. Over the last 2 days, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust has offloaded 1,731 BTC, diminishing its reserves to 296,000 plus BTC. Bitcoin ETFs continue to see persistent outflows. Since April 24th, 2024, US spot Bitcoin ETFs have experienced 5 straight days of net outflows totaling $635 million. The most significant reduction occurred last Thursday, when BTC and Cetric ETFs offloaded $217.6 million. Yesterday, actively ranked as the second highest, with $161.6 million exiting the funds. Notably, GBTC has consistently posted outflows daily since it began trading on January 11th, which is very correct, 2024, shattering all previous ETF outflow records ever documented. Okay, regarding the crypto ETF situation, regarding BlackRock's ETF, Fidelity's ETF, and the other ETFs, So far, they've had 5 days or 4 days with no money entering them. They all came to a halt. However, BlackRock's ETF balance on BTC is still the same. So they haven't sold any. And the rest of them are also still the same. They haven't sold any. The only person that keeps on doing outflows of BTC is Grayscale. Grayscale has been doing the most outflows since day one. Since January 11th, Grayscale has been the only one doing outflows, BTC outflows. The rest of obviously have had outflows and inflows, but Grayscale's had majority outflows compared to inflows. And again, it's Grayscale essentially messing with the whole market. 2 days ago, GBTC reserves dipped below the 300,000 BTC mark, with another 1,731.56 BTC withdrawn since Monday. As of 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on May 1st, 2024, GBTC holdings have decreased to 296,000 plus. Grayscale values these funds at $17.55 billion in assets under management. Through Wednesday, exchanges rates adjust the actual value to $17.11 billion due to BTC's price volatility. BlackRock's IBIT has not recorded any new inflows and maintains a balance of 274,462 BTC, the same as it has held 2 days prior. BlackRock hasn't sold a single BTC. They're holding the exact same amount, even though they have no inflows. BlackRock's estimated assets under management stands at $16.45 billion, the value as of Wednesday to closer $15.82 billion. Meanwhile, Fidelity's FBTC has seen several days of outflows, and ARK-Invest ARKB has experienced a mixture of both outflows and inflows during the same period. Currently, FBTC holds 152,902 BTC in reserves, while ARKB manages a portfolio of 43,241 BTC. Bitwise BitB funds reserves are at 33,421.46 BTC. After 3 days of outflows, 1 day without changes, and 1 day of inflows. Notably, Tuesday's trading volume spiked to $2.85 billion, dwarfing the volume of $2.56 billion and the $120 million as well in net reductions observed on April 24th. So, as always, BlackRock is the one that manipulates the entire market space. As usual, I'm sorry, not BlackRock, Grayscale. As usual, Grayscale is the only one that keeps on manipulating the crypto market space with the outflows. And it's only because Grayscale has this ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, fee of 1.5%, with BlackRock offering a 0.20%. VanEck offering free, no fees until a certain month. The rest of the ETFs offering a 0.20, 0.25, 0.15, and then you have Grayscale still offering a 1.5% fee. And they have the majority of the client base and the majority of the holdings and the majority of the outflows, because nobody's turning their BTC in Grayscale into ETFs. They're all just selling, either going towards BlackRock or selling in general. And as usual, Grayscale is the downfall, because it was the downfall right at the beginning. Grayscale was the reason why the ETF news, when it first dropped, the market dropped because of Grayscale. Grayscale has always been that one. She's back tracking, covering her butt miles. Pretty much, Ian. Yep, facts. If you had the time, if you had the time to run for Prime Minister for the UK, you would win hands down. If I had the time to run for Prime Minister in the UK, I would win hands down. Let's go. I would, but I don't think they'll accept me, because I said what I will do. I said if I ever become Prime Minister, I would fire within 24 hours anybody that's useless within the government. Any politician, any politician that is completely useless and does absolutely nothing and just eats from the taxpayers' money will be fired within 24 hours, is what I said I will do, which is why I'll never make it as a Prime Minister. I agree, Shadi. Let's go. Grayscale's BTC supply will end this summer. it's by the looks of it, lol. It is grayscale again, Miles. BTC is dropping below 6,000. I will keep the faith. Let's go. Jay, yeah, I am a crypto. Lol. Are you calling crypto pro Messi lead? Yeah, there's something going on inside the comment sections. Okay, the next news to go from tonight's live show is this. So we talked about the holdings of the BTC ETFs and so on, and it has the game come to an end? Is there a freeze in the market space? Is there pretty much nothing going on? No, there's a lot of things going on actually. One of them is BlackRock. BlackRock has just recently funded $47 million. Now you might think that's not a lot of money, but it's interesting where that money went towards: tokenizations. Securities raises $47 million in a strategic funding led by BlackRock. And there's a crypto firm involved. There is a crypto firm involved that got funding from BlackRock for tokenizations. And the crypto platform is the crypto firms essentially APTOS, Labs, Paxos, and Circle also took part in the fundings that bonds well for the future of real-world asset tokenizations. Digital securities platform Securities has raised $47 million in the new strategic funds round led by BlackRock. Blockchain developers APTOS Labs and Paxos and stablecoin issuer Circle were also among the investors. Proceeds from the fundings round will be used for product developments, global expansion, and strengthening partnerships in the financial services ecosystem, Securities said in a statement. BlackRock's global head of strategic ecosystem partnerships, Joseph Cholman, will join the Securities board of directors. Cholman called the investors in Securities another step in the evolution of our digital asset strategy that will help meet the future needs of our clients. That was word for word what was said by BlackRock. Securities partnered with BlackRock as a transfer agent tokenization platform and a placement agent on March. Launch of the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund BUILD on the Ethereum blockchain. BUILD is BlackRock's first tokenized fund. BUILD invests in cash, United States Treasuries bills, and repurchases agreements and pays dividends acquired daily through a monthly deposit of token stability worth $1. BUILD holders have the option to transfer their shares to Circle in exchange for US dollar coin transfers. In the 6 weeks of its existence, BUILD assumed a market cap of $375 million to become the largest tokenized trust fund, essentially treasury fund, surpassing the Franklin on-chain US government money fund, Benji, by $7 million. There is currently $1.28 billion locked in tokenized US treasuries and bonds. That's massive. There is currently $1.28 billion locked in tokenized US treasuries. Investment manager Hamilton Lane, which has worked with Securities since 2022, also contributed to the fundraise, along with Parafai Capital and TradeWeb Markets. ATPOS Labs co-founder and CEO Mo told Cointelegraph. ATPOS Labs is a key participant in closing the gap between traditional finance and open finance in a very real and globally accessible way. With leaders like BlackRock and pioneers like Securities at the helm, there is no doubt that the significant piece of the future finance will play out on-chain. Securities is registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) as a broker deal and transfer agent and as a member of the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority (FINRA), self-regulatory organization. It's a good thing to register with the SEC, otherwise that could be next as well. But that is again massive, honestly. New company, essentially, not a new company, but a company that's been around for a while, has just been funded with the help of BlackRock and two crypto platforms. One of them being Circle, and the other one being APTOS Labs as well. They funded them as well alongside BlackRock. Things are looking good inside the crypto space, especially for tokenizations as well. Before we go to the next news, which is El Salvador. The next news we're going to be talking about on tonight's live show is regarding El Salvador and how they've advanced with tokenized asset financing. And that more countries are headed towards tokenized assets, and not just El Salvador as well. There would hardly... So let's go to the comment section before we go to the next news. I don't understand why grayscales are selling and not buying BTC. Is it not just financial mistakes? Yeah, it's manipulation. Grayscale is king. I honestly would say Grayscale, in my opinion, not financial advice, in my opinion, Grayscale is king of manipulation. They were very good at it right at the beginning of the ETFs, and they're even better at it now. There would be hardly anyone left, Miles. If I became prime minister and fired everyone that's useless, pretty much, yeah. No, just XRP, Megan Pro. Do you see BTC going all-time highs again in 2024, Miles, or wait until 2025? No, I see it going high in 2024 again, yes. I do see it going high in 2024. Could rip day by day. There are more institutions coming inside the crypto space. Day by day, there are more institutions, more banks. And the institutions and banks are applying for licensing, some of them. Some of them are just partnering up with other crypto platforms like Bitpanda and that German bank. So day by day, we have more institutions coming inside the crypto space. Day by day, we have more banks. Day by day, we have more ETFs, ETNs, ETPs, depending on different jurisdictions. So do I see the crypto market going up in 2024? Hell yes, I see the crypto market going up in 2024. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. Could Ripple win over, especially with BlackRock, extending their reach on the BTC ETF about a week ago to Goldman Sachs and essentially 5 other major establishments to expand on their Bitcoin ETF? Yes, hell yes, I see the market going up in 2024. Could Ripple win over the SEC, be the catalyst needed to kickstart the bull run? Tether's Q1 quarter one report, out Miles, shows significant financial growth and transparency, stating 90% of their tokens are backed by cash and cash equivalents. Are they starting to play by the rules? Yes, by the looks of it, but it does depend on where the data came from. If the data directly came from Tether, then okay, it could be actual truth to it. But if the data came from a journalist, then most likely not. So we have to see where the data came from. If the data came directly from Tether or Tether's own website, and we can check essentially those treasuries or cash reserves regarding whatever they're backed with, then that's good. If we can't see any of those reserves and we can't see it on the blockchain either, and it's just written by some journalist, then no, they're not playing nice at all. If they tokenize $1 trillion on XRP, how much will XRP price pump? How do you count that? If they put $1 trillion, if they tokenize $1 trillion on XRP, will pump it quite a lot because it grows adoption on the XRP ledger. Any tokenization that goes on any chain, it grows the adoption on that particular chain, which grows the value of the token eventually. Follow the rules or leave with the fools. Basically, same I see it BTC going up 2 miles. Still early days. May is not even halfway through the year. Exactly. Facts. Now, but Shelly, thank you for the update. Thank you for the update regarding Tether's quarter one reports, but we have to see where those updates came from. The update came from a journalist, the data did it come from a journalist, or was it according to Tether's own website? And are they showing their reserves as well? That's the most important thing. Are they showing it on the blockchain? Are they showing it in some sort of a way? Or are they just saying? Now, El Salvador. El Salvador advances with tokenized asset financing. Now, I recently talked about El Salvador about a week ago or 2 weeks ago on this live show. And I talked about El Salvador, how they're building a Hilton hotel. Now, that you might think, how is that relevant to blockchain? If you're watching this for the first time ever, how is a Hilton hotel relevant to blockchain? And why is El Salvador relevant? Well, because it's the first world's ever tokenization project. The Hilton Hotel is a tokenization project in El Salvador where members can get involved and have a piece of the pie of the Hilton Hotel, and it's tokenized. They're building it. It's the first time ever anybody's doing this in the entire world. Now, I'm not advocating for anybody to go for it because I'm not going for it either, but it's nice to see the updates and it's nice to see what's happening and if anybody else will follow in suit regarding different countries. El Salvador advances with tokenized asset financing. The global financial landscape is witnessing a substantial rise in the tokenization of real-world assets, which is true, with a total value locked at TVL in those protocols reaching $8 billion as of late April. This represents a significant growth of nearly 60% in just a few months, underscoring a shift towards blockchain-based security of physical assets. The movement is not just about growth, but it's also about diversification, impacting various sectors like commodities, securities, and real assets, or real estate in other words. Why are real-world asset tokens gaining popularity? The increased TVL and real-world asset token protocols reflects a broader market trend towards alternative investments, particularly those offering high yields from debt instruments. The separation from essentially traditional fiat-backed investments like stablecoins and expansions of tokenizing commodities and real estate indicates a growing appetite for innovative financial solutions among investors. What's new in El Salvador's approach? El Salvador is making headlines again in the cryptocurrency world by launching a tokenized debt issuance for financing a new hotel project near its international airport. This move aimed at raising $6.25 million through HILSV tokens, showcase a pioneering approach to funding significant infrastructure projects via blockchain. The investment terms include a 10% discount on minimum investments of $1,000 with additional perks like free hotel stays, enhancing investor appeals, and so on. Again, when I revealed this news, it was absolutely massive news. Absolutely massive news when I revealed this news. And more countries are going to be following in suit of El Salvador going forward as well. A lot of other countries. But I think they're going to use El Salvador as a playing ground. And if anybody does invest into this Hilton hotel project in El Salvador built near their airport and buys any of their essentially tokenized assets, you get free hotel stays in El Salvador and a Hilton hotel and so on and so on. And I can see this becoming a trend in other jurisdictions around the world as well. I can see, a lot of construction companies heading towards tokenization, where they can build properties, they can buy land and build properties, and to get investment for that project, just tokenize the land, tokenize the project. That's essentially what El Salvador is doing. El Salvador has essentially tokenized the land and the property they're building of the Hilton Hotel next to their airport. A lot of countries I can see following in suit. A lot of companies I can see following in suit doing this later on. Because a lot of construction companies do tend to run out of money because they don't budget it correctly. So, you could be seeing this happening everywhere else around the world, depending on how well this project goes in El Salvador. I think every country is going to use it as a test phase in El Salvador. Insights from industry leaders. Paulo, the CEO of Tether, emphasized the transformative potential of tokenized real-world assets. He highlighted the dual benefit accessibility for investors traditionally excluding from these markets, and new financing avenues for issuance in capital-scarce regions. This democratization of asset investments could reshape how projects are funded globally, is what Tether is saying. Tether CEO is saying, this is changing how we see things in today's world, where people are getting involved essentially in construction projects and they're tokenizing projects like the Hilton Hotel. Key user inferences. Investors seeking high yield returns may find robust opportunities within real world tokenization, particularly in real estate assets and commodities. Blockchain's transparency could attract investors looking for security in alternative funding methods. Emerging markets can leverage tokenization to unlock new capital inflows, potentially accelerating economic growth. The surge in tokenization not only highlights its relevance, but also points to a broader acceptance and integration into mainstream financial systems. With countries like El Salvador leading by example, the landscape for investment and capital generation through tokenized assets is likely to expand further, offering a novel opportunities for global investors and project innovators alike. Honestly, this is absolutely amazing regarding El Salvador doing that still, and so far the project is going well for them. And I can see a lot of countries following in suit as well. And the next news we're going to be going from tonight's live show is regarding how much Bitcoin is being held by all the ETFs combined, and countries and companies. A lot of Bitcoin is being held. And it's good to know, regarding data of how much Bitcoin is being held by companies, institutions, banks, countries, and ETFs. And I'll give you the total valuation, which is the next news we're going to talk about tonight's live show, after I go through the comment section. By the way, if you're watching this for the first time ever, welcome to the CMF live show, where we talk about how the world is evolving into a digital space. I do this live show every single night. This is episode 44 you are tuning in for right now of the CMF live show. We are live on YouTube and X, as always. And I do this every single night, this live show that I'm doing right now, the CMF live show. And we talk about recent news and how the world is evolving to the digital world. And we do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Now, go inside the comment section. follow the rules or leave. Yeah, essentially, yep. Same as CBDC going up. Let's go. You're the king of investing. I'm sure you'll find out the details and fill us in about the transparency. Let's go, Shelly. I'll take a look at the quarter one reports. Didn't El Salvador get hacked, Miles? Yes, they did get hacked. El Salvador did get hacked. I did reveal this news. A in-house wallet that El Salvador designed for Bitcoin holdings and cryptocurrency holdings did get compromised. Now, El Salvador has kept the news very quiet for a while. I'm guessing they fixed and patched the bug within the system. But yes, the entire El Salvador wallet system did get hacked. That is correct. And I revealed that news on this live show 2 nights ago. Thanks, Crypto JL. For sure, this is just the beginning. Bob the Builder, JP, he'll be on, I think. Bob the Builder will be on it. Yep, let's go. Miles, is this tokenization different from crowdfunding? Suck as Kickstarter. What is the pro of this tokenization? Okay, the pro of this tokenization, I'm talking about the tokenization of Hilton Hotel. Okay, the reason why. Okay, it can be comparable. So Kickstarter can be comparable to tokenization, but in a very vague aspect. Much bigger differences between obviously Kickstarter and tokenization. Humongous differences. Now, regarding tokenization, sorry, that can't even make me laugh. Regarding tokenization, it gives you benefits on the project itself, and the benefits are a lot more bigger depending on what the project is. For example, in this Hilton Hotel essentially situation, in this hotel in this hotel situation regarding the El Salvador hotel that's been built regarding tokenizations, you would get free nights at the Hilton Hotel. You would benefit from your tokenization project by earning money on top of it. It could be yearly. You'd be earning money or monthly or weekly depending on how they're going to be doing it. So you're buying into a company, similarly of buying into a company, and you're getting yearly returns on that essentially asset. Not only that, but you're getting other benefits because it's a hotel. You get free stays and free this and free that and so on. So you're making money from it and you get free nights. Essentially what this project is. But it grows your portfolio. It grows the average person's portfolio by a lot, okay? Because the average person wouldn't just go out of their way and invest into a Hilton Hotel. The average Joe would never have the capabilities of investing into a Hilton Hotel and benefiting from a Hilton Hotel project. But because of tokenization, you can benefit from a project like the Hilton Hotel project that's going to be built in El Salvador next to their airports. So it opens the door to a whole new stream of avenue. It opens the door to the average Joe to get involved in a project that they'll never get their hands on, or a project that they've never heard of or made money from. And now they can because of this tokenization purposes. So it opens a whole new stream of avenue, which is great. Honestly, if you do correct movements inside the crypto space, if you do correct movements inside tokenizations, you can make an excellent portfolio for yourself and for your kids' future. Tokenization is amazing. It opens a whole new door to stream of avenue that you would have never had access to. Because this is just the start with a Hilton Hotel tokenization project. Later on, it could be a Formula One team that wants to tokenize, their company. And every time if this particular Formula One driver, imagine, Red Bull, for example, which is a Formula One racing team. Red Bull, for example, wins, McLaren. Let's say McLaren tokenizes their Formula One team. And every time they win, you get some kind of rewards from it. It's basically, that's what it is. It's something that you would have never had access to, but now you're going to have access to it. And it can open up your portfolio, diversify it quite well, and you can make a lot of money. A lot of money, if you play your cards right. On which blockchain does El Salvador tokenization? Well, El Salvador hasn't revealed the blockchain, but there was hints that El Salvador is going to be on Ethereum. It opens up to everyone, whereas before it would have just been large development company investings. Yes, facts. What Shelly just said inside the comment section just simplified what I just said. With Shelly stating it opens it up to everyone, whereas before it would have just been for large development companies investing. Facts. That's what it basically is. Yeah, I see the potential. Let's go. Now, going into what is the 3 biggest benefits for tokenization? One, transparency. Tokenization brings a lot of transparency, which is needed in today's world. There's a lot of corruption going on, especially for high-profile institutions. So it provides transparency to the regular person, which is great. It provides you benefits, something that you would never have access to or make money from. Now you can. And the third thing is you can use it to borrow against. That's also good as well. And to skip on taxes. The skipping on taxes is what everybody looks forward to. In a very legal and legitimate way. You can borrow against your tokenized assets later on, and you don't pay tax on debt. Great name, hey? Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder, yep. Bob the Builder was a cartoon, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, great name. Definitely great name. Now, the next news to go on tonight's live show is this. Bitcoin assets worth $175 billion secured by ETFs, countries, and companies. VanEck reports. Key points. VanEck reports that approximately $175 billion in Bitcoin is held by ETFs, nations, and companies. Bitcoin popularity among institutional investors has surged, with many viewing it as a valuable asset. According to a recent report by VanEck, an estimated $175 billion worth of Bitcoin is currently being held by ETFs, nations, and both public and private companies. Increased institutional interest in Bitcoin. The report also highlights a growing interest in Bitcoin among institutional investors such as hedge funds, asset management firms, and many other private entities. These entities are increasingly seeking Bitcoin's potential as a store of value. The $175 billion worth of Bitcoin held by these entities represents approximately 15% of the entire Bitcoin supply. This is based on data from CoinGecko. As of last Wednesday, Bitcoin's total market capitalization was around $1.2 trillion. Over the past week, the price of the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap has dropped from over $64,000 to $57,000. Bitcoin's adoption and infrastructure. VanEck launched a spot Bitcoin, essentially ETF traded fund that began trading in January. This fund currently has $600 million in assets under management. The report also noted that an increasing number of merchants and businesses are accepting Bitcoin as a form of a payment. Infrastructure has been deployed to make it more convenient for the average person to use, further solidifying Bitcoin's position as a solid investment. So, if you ever wanted to know what's the total, amounts that's been held by essentially institutions, private entities, public entities, and even nations, all the ETFs combined altogether, it's $175 billion, roughly. $175 billion, roughly, is being held by the ETFs, nations, and companies. That's according to the new report from VanEck. And that's about 15% of the total Bitcoin supply. 15% of the total Bitcoin supply is being held by nations, ETFs, and companies. Now, the next news we're going to be talking about tonight's live shows regarding the UK government and their new published reports, which is not good for crypto. We'll go for it after we do the conversation. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get, basically. Yeah, it's true what Ian said. Now, there we go. Slow it down for a sec. UK government. UK government publishes new cryptocurrency report. Here are the details. A new report published by the UK government financial arm has revealed that cryptocurrency companies, along with the retail banking, wholesale banking, and asset management, are among the top money laundering risks between 2022 and 2023. The report conclusion were drawn from risk assessments carried out at 238 firms by the Financial Conduct Authority, FCA. The Financial Conduct Authority regulator inside the United States Kingdom has been trying to get crypto firms to register with it and comply with money laundering rules since 2020. According to the report, the United Kingdom is making intense efforts to suppress cryptocurrency-related crimes. In October 2022, the UK police announced that they were deploying crypto tactical advisors across the country to assist in seizures of digital assets linked to criminal activities, which I mentioned a few nights ago on this live show as well. The National Police Chiefs Council reported that they managed to seize hundreds of millions of dollars of crypto within crimes inside the United Kingdom. Data from the newly published report showed that between 2022 and 2023, the FCA had 52 full-time financial crime specialist staffs dedicated to anti-money laundering supervision. Of those, 15 were focused on regulating crypto businesses. Well, it's nice to see, not only are they prosecuting, but they're going towards essentially rules and regulations. That is good to see, because the SEC just goes towards prosecution and lies in court. Now, the UK's FCA is not just only going towards prosecution, but they're also going towards regulating, essentially the crypto space as well, bringing out some regulations, which is great. It's something that we want to see. And, you can see that happening because the UK does want to become the hub for the crypto space as well. And I do hope everything does go well for them. Now, next news is a bit of a major one. Okay, a bit of a major one regarding the next news, which is Bitovo. Bitovo is about to open their essentially reach inside of Europe regarding staking. Bitovo taps Figment to enhance staking services in Europe. Netherlands-based cryptocurrency exchange Bitovo is set to bolster its staking services across Europe. For a strategic partnership, institutional staking platform, Figment. Institutional staking is on the way in Europe. Massive. When a user base exceeding 1.5 million in the Bloxham region, Bitovo aims to evaluate its offerings, tapping into Figment's expertise and infrastructure to provide enhanced staking capabilities to its customers. Expanding staking services with Figment. The partnership between Figment and Bitovo signifies a strategic move towards offering additional security measures and expanding staking services and opportunities. Bitovo's CEO Mark underscored the importance of staking in cryptocurrencies landscape, recognizing as a vital service for their vast user base. By collaborating with Figment, a prominent player in staking infrastructure, Bitovo aims to essentially fortify the security and reliability of its staking services. Figment's comprehensive market knowledge and track record position themselves as a valuable partner in this endeavor. Leveraging Figment's institutional-grade infrastructure, the Dutch-based crypto exchange will proof-of-stake protocols, including. So these are the crypto projects that are going to be offered for staking services by Bitovo, by Figment inside of Europe. Institutional staking. These are the crypto projects, including Ethereum, Solana, and Near Protocol. Near Protocol, amazing. Ethereum, Solana, I can see why Ethereum is there, sitting at number 2, well established, and a lot of small contracts, a lot of projects are built upon it. Solana is there as well, even though, about 80% of Solana's chain is just meme coins, but it's sitting there as well, and about 11 crashes so far to count. But Near Protocol, amazing project. I can see why it's been there. Now, Bitovo's European expansion. Bitovo's expansion into Europe has been marked by a steady progress and regulatory compliance. Following regulatory approval to operate in Austria, Bitovo successfully launched its services in Italy in 2022 as well. In addition to the recent approval from France's Auto d'Amers Financiers (AMF), enabled Bitovo to extend essentially its offerings to French users. These expansions align with Bitovo's commitment to providing accessible and compliant cryptocurrency services across the European markets. This is massive, okay, because not only, the French government essentially approving Bitovo's expansion into the French territories, but it's for institutional staking. That's why it's massive, because we've had staking inside the crypto space for the crypto sector, for the retail section, which has always been good. You can make quite a lot of good money on staking, depending on where you're essentially staking your crypto assets on, and how long you're locking them in there for. But when we see interest taken by institutions is what matters, because we really want the institutional services, essentially traditional finance to enter the digital finance space, because that is where all the money is. All the money is inside the traditional space, and we want that money entering the digital space. So staking for institutions in the European markets through Bitovo and Figment, and getting a green light already from Australia, already from the French government essentially, and also from Italy and other European countries as well. And they're starting with institutional staking for Ethereum, Solana, and Near Protocol, most likely extending their list as well. Massive news. Institutional staking approved by French authorities as well. I'm telling you right now, as I said before, 2024 is when the world starts shifting into a digital era. I said this in 2023, going to 2024. When you have all of these things happening with the banks and institutions, private entities, public entities, private banks, public banks, all going for licensing, partnering with institutional firms, and now we're going into self-storage cold wallets for institutions or staking for institutions, and they're not the only one doing staking for institutions. Hong Kong is looking for, into the ideas of essentially staking into institutions. Japan is going into staking as well. There's other jurisdictions around the world that are going into staking for the institutional side, which is massive. We're seeing that progress happen inside the corporate sector, which means utility. We're slowly shifting into utility on some of these legitimate projects as well. Putting the stake into aside, we're also going to utility as well. Now, before we go to the next news, which we're going to be talking about legendary investor Cathie Woods, which is next to go from tonight's live show. Yeah, I see the potential. That's the biggest three. Bolt builder, let's go. When you see is what you get. Yep, meaning regards tokenizations. Yep, that's true. Miles, are you stacking? Am I stacking? As in, am I going for crypto projects? Yes, the usual I'm going for. But just out of curiosity, before we go to the next news, has anyone brought any projects? This dip that we had inside the market space. Has anyone inside the CMF, or if you're new, you're watching this for the first time ever as well, if you want to come inside the conversation as well and give your opinions, or if you don't want to share, it's perfectly fine. But has anyone brought any new projects? Just before I reveal what I brought as well. But just a heads up, I have been buying the usual projects that I do tend to buy and pack up on. Kerry has brought more XRP. Ian has brought more XRP and XLM. There's 2 members from the CMF have brought cryptocurrencies. Denise has brought more XRP. Or if you're going for more tokens as well, have you brought any tokens, and are you going for more tokens? Or are you standing still for the time being to see how things play out? So, Carrie for XRP, Ian for XRP and XLM, Denise for XRP, yes, Pepe's uncle. Abel is going for Pepe's uncle. Now, obviously, that's not an indication for anybody to go for Pepe's uncle. Abel is just being sarcastic. There's no such thing as Pepe's uncle. I brought AVAX, Near, Ton, Link. Okay, let's go Chozone. Chozone's going for good projects. AVAX is good. Near is good. Ton, excellent. Link, good as well. What do you think about Shiba Inu? What do I think about Shiba Inu? I think it's a project that's going to be sticking around. Now, I'm not fond of meme coins, but I have said, and I'll stick by it, there are only 3 meme coins that I possibly see surviving everything that's thrown at them. I see Dogecoin, and I've said this before as well, I see Dogecoin surviving, I see Shiba Inu surviving, and I see Luna C surviving. Outside of that circle, the rest of them, they could still be around. Pepe could still be around, or Dog with Hat, or the rest of them, and so on and so on. Apologies about that. But the ones I do genuinely see surviving out of the meme coin categories, or the trillion token supply category, is Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Luna C. Mainly because Dogecoin, Elon Musk, heavy supporter of Dogecoin, and I understand why, because he sees Dogecoin as the people's coin. I see Shiba Inu surviving because it was an absolute miracle. The way Shiba Inu came into the play, it was a miracle type of situation. Dogecoin surviving because of Elon Musk, Shiba Inu because of the way it entered the market space, and Luna C because of Binance. Binance keeps on supporting Luna C with the burns and so on, so they're maintaining, Luna C. So that's why I see it surviving. So Doge, Shiba, Luna C. Out of that circle, I don't see anything else surviving inside that $1 trillion token supply situation. So I think those 3 projects will survive anything that's thrown at them. So Rooney, I see it surviving, doing well for itself in the long term. XLM and Kronos memes. XLM and Kronos memes. Be careful of the Kronos memes. I've brought more of most of the top 6. Fair enough. I'm sorry, CMF. I'm joking. I brought more XRP. Let's go, April. XRP. XDC and Casper. Let's go. That's good as well. XRP, great. XDC, great. Casper, good as well. And I went for a newborn baby Pep. You went for baby Pep. Hope that works out well. Shelly, yeah, was paid it. Let's go. Will we be able to invest into tokenizations with CBDCs, or will you need crypto? No, you're going to have access through tokenizations as well with CBDCs. So, regarding tokenizations, you're going to be able to buy them using CBDCs as well. The European government and the British government are looking into tokenization. Also, India's government is looking into it as well. So is Japan and a lot of other jurisdictions. They're looking into tokenization and CBDCs, wholesale CBDC tokenizations, okay? Not retail CBDC and tokenization. Wholesale CBDC and tokenization is what they're looking into. So maybe the retail section won't have access to CBDCs, but the wholesale section will. Wholesale institutions, in other words, they're the ones going to have access to that. Finally, is what Ian said. Dog with hat is doing well as well. Let's go for that one. Even with regulations in place, do you see them survive? Even with regulations, do I see Shiba Inu, Luna C, and Dogecoin surviving? Yes. It's the only three I see surviving from the, meme category or trillion token supply category and so on. It's the only three I see surviving from that particular category. Obviously, the legitimate projects will all survive. The majority of the legitimate projects will all survive. But out of that particular category, Doge, Shiba, and Lunacy is the only ones I see surviving. Pretty much anything that's thrown at them, even regulations. The rest is Pepe and Dog with Hat is on. They're very new still. But Shiba has held its weight for a very long time. Doge has held its weight for a very long time, and Lunacy has held its weight for a very long time as well. There might not be excellent projects, and there are a lot more other better projects out there, but I do see them surviving anything thrown at them. Dog, yeah. My cryptic clue: I have to plead the fifth. Can't reveal my ex secrets. Lol. Miles, Big Brother's watching. No problem, Shelly. I get it. Have you done a deep dive on SHX? I've done a dive on the SHX Stronghold, you mean? It's an interesting project, could do well for itself. I think it has potential regarding Stronghold. I think it has potential. Now, going through what Cathie Woods had to say. Legendary investor Cathie Woods increases her $1.5 million Bitcoin price prediction. Now, Cathie Woods, ARK Invest CEO, obviously, has came out multiple times and given her predictions on the crypto markets. Once, a very long time ago, Cathie Woods came out and said Bitcoin is going to $100,000. And then she changed her opinion and said $150,000. And then she changed her opinion and said $250,000. And with every time she changed her opinion, she was doing it in front of a live news audience. So she did it in front of journalists. So once on CNBC, once on Forbes, once on Cointelegraph, you get the picture. So she went from 150,000, from 100,000 to 150 to 250,000 to 300,000 to 500,000. And then she jumped from 500,000 to 1 million. And then she went to 1.5 million. And then now she's saying 3.8 million is what the price of Bitcoin is going to be. Per Bitcoin, 3.8 million, according to Cathie Woods. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Woods is known for her bold predictions regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Despite the skepticism surrounding these predictions, they continue to attract the attention of investors and analysts alike. At an investor day in New York, Wood made a surprising prediction. According to Cathie Woods, Bitcoin's price could rise to a staggering $3.8 million by 2030. In her own words, Woods expressed the prediction. Last year, we put forward our bullish scenario for Bitcoin. This figure was $1.5 million. With the institutional green light provided by the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, difficult according to analysts, and institutional investors invested a little more than 5% of their portfolios in Bitcoin. If they do, and we think they will over time, that alone would add $2.3 million to the estimate I gave you. So she's saying last year, I said to everybody, it's going to be going to 1.5 million per Bitcoin. Not in 1 year's time, but eventually getting to 1.5. She's saying now because there are a lot more institutions in the play. A lot more institutions day by day are coming into the crypto space, especially the BTC ETF space, from different jurisdictions around the world. So she's saying that even if they allocate about 5% of their money into Bitcoin, we could be looking at around $2.3 million for Bitcoin, per Bitcoin. Wood's prediction is based on the assumption that institutional investors will invest heavily in Bitcoin. 5% is really heavily. If Wood's prediction proves correct and Bitcoin reaches around 2.3 to 3.8 million by 2030, a modest investment of £1,000 today could potentially rise to over $60,000. However, there are also many analysts who are skeptical of Wood's prediction, considering it has 5.5 years to come true. I think, personally, Cathie Wood is right. 2030 is a lot of time. It might not look like a lot of time, according to analysts, but everybody's entitled to an opinion. And I'm not basing my opinion on, just Cathie Wood's. I'm basing it on data of the institutions that are coming in, applying for licensings, the ETF expansions that BlackRock is doing in the Brazilian markets, in the Indian markets, and within the United States itself. Regarding Fidelity, regarding VanEck lowering their fees to 0 fees until somewhat next year, so they can get more money coming into the ETFs. Regarding the amount of banks entering the crypto space and applying for licensing, so that new bank in Germany, the federal bank that came into the crypto space with $333 billion in assets under management, and partnering with Big Panda to expand as well. Now, I wouldn't say on the dot we're going to be seeing 3.8 million. I would say we'll come close to the 1. We'll come close to the 1. The 1 million marker. Not now, 2030. And I also based it on something else, which I read out on this live show earlier, which was 15% so far. So according to the VanEck report that came out, 15% of the entire Bitcoin, essentially, the Bitcoin supply is being held so far by ETFs, countries, and companies. So far, ETFs, countries, and companies are holding roughly $175 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's about 15%, according to VanEck, of Bitcoin's chain supply, total chain supply, entire chain supply, 15% so far. And until 2030, already they're at 15%. Until 2030, I could see them pushing. And remember, this is a small amount of institutional money that's entered the crypto space. It's a very small amount of institutional money that pushed Bitcoin to new heights. So I could potentially see that coming. Quite high. Possibility is quite high. And it was just a down. And again, even on my words or the CIO words of Arthur, let's go with Arthur Hayes' words as well. Arthur Hayes, saying, the money that came in to push Bitcoin to new heights was a down payment from the institutions, and it was a down payment. And I also said it was a very, very, very small amount of money that came in from institutions. And that very, very small amount of money that came in from institutions pushed Bitcoin to new heights. And about $175 billion worth of Bitcoin is being held by countries, ETFs, and companies. 15%. I could see that happening, yes. And also, according to my own words, consider variable change. But yeah, no, I honestly do. Look, every year we're going to go higher and higher. Okay, the game has completely changed. As I said previously, the game has completely changed. We're going to be going through manipulations, corrections, and pullbacks, of course. It's something to always anticipate in any sort of market space. I've said this over a million times. We're always going to anticipate, corrections, pullbacks, and corrections, pullbacks, and market manipulation, especially the more institutions that enter the crypto space. Guaranteed. My point of view, not financial advice. But in general, the market is going to go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher every year, because it's no longer about buy, sell, quick profits. It's about institutions. It's about utility. And the projects that have utility are going to do better year on year going forward, because that's why the institutions are coming into the crypto space. That's why the banks are coming into the crypto space, for the utility purposes, like smart contracts or tokenizations or faster transactions. That is why banks and institutions are coming inside the crypto space. That is why Stripe's CEO, a few nights ago, I reviewed Stripe's CEO, came back inside the crypto space. And his exact words were, crypto is back. Stripe's CEO came inside the crypto space and said, crypto is back. When everybody's telling you jump out the crypto space, Stripe's CEO came back inside the crypto space about a few nights ago, said crypto is back. And everybody's coming in. Regarding everybody, he meant institutions and so on, because of utility. He said utility is coming inside crypto. He said this is when the utility is coming in. That is his reasoning of coming back. Stripe is a massive payment company. That is their reasoning for coming back inside the crypto space now in 2024, because we're going into utility. And he actually said it's because of utility, and it's because crypto is back. So year on year, we're going to be going higher and higher and higher on utility projects, because as I said previously, it's no longer about buy, sell, buy, sell. That was for the past. Buy, sell was for the past. But obviously, no market continues going up and no market continues going down only, because then what's the point of the market? So obviously, we're going to have pullbacks, corrections, and market manipulation from institutions. And year on year, we're going to have more regulations. We're going to have CBDC adoption growing. We're going to have more banks closing down branches, more ATMs closing down branches, less places accepting cash. And a lot of countries will go inside, and become crypto hubs. The UK is aiming for a crypto hub. Hong Kong is aiming for a crypto hub. Dubai is aiming for a crypto hub. India is aiming for a crypto hub. Japan is aiming to become a crypto hub. Believe me, the United States will also be aiming to become a crypto hub somewhere down the line, because I cannot see the United States market being out of anything. They're always into everything, even if they're on the sidelines. Anything involving money, the United States is the first one on the line. Believe me. And there's a lot of evidence to back that up. But yeah, year on year, the market's going to look better and better. And this year, it's going to look incredibly well. This year, it's still the beginning. We're still very early. There's a lot of things to go forward on. So I can see her perspectives on the market space. Now, what is the difference between meme coins and regular crypto coins? By the way, thank you. No, I'll tell you right now, because somebody just said, good night, Miles and CMF. Coins see tomorrow sometimes usual. What is the difference between meme coins and regular crypto coins, by the way? Well, even regular crypto coins, there's a lot of pump and dumps. But meme coins generally have no purpose until someone creates the purpose for them. Regular crypto projects, let's in this instance take legitimate crypto projects. Legitimate crypto projects are set up in a way to provide some sort of utility. Now, there are also regular crypto projects that are also pump and dump, so be careful with that one. But a regular crypto project in this instance is a project that's designed for utility purpose. We've got tokenization, smart contracts, finance, data, Web3, gaming. It has a purpose, day one, coming inside the market space. Meme coins have a purpose of being cute and people blowing their money into them, hoping to become millionaires by next week. Big difference. One comes into the market space with purpose of utility. The other is coming in for quick gains with no utility. Some of them do turn out to bring utility later on. Shiba Inu going into metaverse, Lunacy going the same aspects as well, and Doge trying to do some things based on utility regarding payments. Tgram is probably the safest platform going forward. When that's too much IMO max, 1 million we will see. That's what I see as well. Miles, why do all the predictions are based around 2030? Why are all the predictions based on what's going to happen after 2030? Well, actually, all the predictions are based on 2027, not 2030. Her prediction is based on 2030, technically. There are some predictions based on 2030, but the majority of predictions are based around 2027, which is the same deadlines from the banks and Bankers of International Settlement and G20 Summit. So they're aiming for 2027. And she and some other analysts are aiming for 2030. Considerable change, yes. So, we are also coming up. And actually, you know what? Based on the meme coin thing, here's something. Justin Sun. Justin Sun made a speech about meme coins, which is this one. Justin Sun, Tron CEO, supports meme coins at Token 2049 conference. Justin Sun, the founder and CEO of Tron, expressed support for meme coins such as Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Floki at a recent Token 2049 conference in Dubai. Sun highlighted the unique role these tokens play and differentiating the cryptocurrency industry from traditional financial systems. During his address, Sun disclosed essentially the substantial market valuations attained by the top meme coins with exceedings of $10 billion. However, Sun emphasized that such success stems from a fair launch and community participation, core principles that he believes are vital to cryptocurrency ecosystem. Meme coins may seem unconventional, but they highlight the power of the community in crypto. Building a successful project meme coin based or not takes dedication, network upgrades, and market trends. Sun also touched upon the challenges of launching a successful meme coin, comparing it to creating a significant crypto project. He cited the consistent support for figures like Tesla CEO Elon Musk for Doge, and underscoring the importance of prominent endorsements inside the crypto world as well. Moreover, Sun's speech includes an optimistic look for the future of meme coins. He noted that each bull cycle inside the cryptocurrency market tends to highlight a particular meme coin that stands out from the rest. Despite the recent downtrends in the market prices, with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu experiencing significant declines, Sun's perspective remains bullish on the potential resurgence of the next cycle. In his remarks, he shared a video on X. Sun summarized the essence of the meme coins. He stated meme coins may seem unconventional, but they highlight the power of the crypto community. Building a successful project, memes based or not, takes dedication. Let's start with the bull cycles. This statement essentially is vision of continuous growth and innovation within the meme coin segment. I can see also where Justin Sun's coming from. And it's the same things I said, Elon Musk supports Dogecoin, Shiba Inu has massive community, and Lummis Binance being supported with as well. It's the only ones, honestly. And I wouldn't recommend anybody going to meme coins at all, but it's the only three I do see surviving anything that's pretty much thrown at them. Miles, how do you see... Miles, how do you think Shiba Inu going into the metaverse will increase its value? And if so, what do you think its value will be? And what do I think Shiba Inu going into the metaverse will increase its value? And if so, what do I think its value will be? Okay, I can't give you the price. I won't give you a price points on regarding, what I would say is consider variable change regarding price points. But however, I can tell you a particular news article that I read in 2023. I read an article in 2023. And again, this is not financial advice at all, but I read an article in 2023 where by a particular year, in the coming years, the metaverse is going to become, they said, the metaverse is going to become a $5 trillion market space, $10 trillion market space, $20 trillion market space, and beyond, essentially. So the metaverse is going to become a massive $1 trillion market space, is the article that I read in 2023. And it talked about, Shiba Inu and some other projects that have ridiculous token supplies going forward. And they said, if projects like Shiba Inu go towards the metaverse, then they have a higher chance of reaching that price point they want to, but they have to control a vast majority of the metaverse, essentially reaching those price points. Because the market space of the metaverse will become eventually, 5 trillion, 10 trillion, 15 trillion, 50 trillion, 100 trillion, so on. The more companies that enter it and the more everybody shifts towards the metaverse, then obviously it will become a massive marketplace without a doubt. That's guaranteed of becoming a massive marketplace. So, according to that article, Shiba Inu has a high chance of reaching its price points that it wants to reach. Regarding one cent, 10 cents, or $1. That's according to that article, not my perspective in any sort of a way that I read 2023. So, according to that article, if it joins the metaverse, somewhere down the line, it will reach the price point it wants to reach, which could be massive for it. But who knows how long that will take? That's why I say consider variable change. 2030 is to do with the World Economic Forum. 2030 World Economic Forum did mention as well, but they also mentioned 2027, 2028, and 2029 as well. Tell Rooney to join the Telegram if he needs some guidance on crypto projects, Miles. Yes, definitely, Shelly. Let's go. Rooney, if you want, join the Telegram group as well. The link is inside my YouTube channel if anybody wants to join it as well. Everything I provide is completely free of source. I believe education should always remain free. So I never charge any money. I never charge money at all. I've never charged money at all. So if anybody wants, you can join the Telegram group of this live show as well, which is the CMF live show. The Telegram link is on my YouTube and on my X channel as well. And you can go to my X profile. So Twitter profile, in other words, you can go to my X profile, Twitter profile, and the link is there as well. If you're watching this on X, if you're watching this on YouTube, because we're live on both of them as usual, the link is also on my YouTube as well. And you're more than welcome to join. Anybody that wants to join, it's an amazing place to be. It's in Miles' profile. It's Crypto Miles Family. One word on Telegram. Yep, definitely. You can ask Miles questions on here. He's also updating his profile to provide everyone as well. This is available soon. You can also DM Miles on a Telegram if personal. Yes. I'll definitely join. Thank you for the knowledge you were sharing. No problem, Rooney, anytime. Hi, Miles. I dozed off again. Lena, good to see you as well. How you doing? Okay, we've reached the slowly endings of this live show as well. And I've got to wake up quite early. I'm not going to get any sleep either. I have to take my mother to a hospital appointment as well, early morning. And then after that, I have a lot of meetings to go to as well. Incredible amount of meetings to do straight after that. So we are also coming up to the endings of this live show as well. But I'll give you the gist for anybody that tuned in late on tonight's live show. So Ripple CTO, these are the news that we went from tonight's live show. Ripple CTO held 26 million XRP, says he's never sold XRP for other cryptos. So the first news we went on, essentially through on this live show was from Ripple CTO. And how he's never sold his XRP to buy any other cryptocurrencies. According to Ripple CTO himself, he's sold Bitcoin before to buy Ethereum and XRP, but he's never sold XRP to buy other cryptocurrencies. He does hold less XRP than he originally did. However, he only sold some for, profit-wise for himself, not to buy Ethereum according to the SEC. The next news we went from tonight's live show was regarding the federal prosecutors investigating Block, which is Jack Dorsey's company, regarding his Bitcoin company, apparently conducting illicit activities. And now he's been looked into by the federal prosecutors. We also talked about the Fed reports and how Jerome Powell has basically said that we're not going to have rate cuts so far. And because of that, cryptocurrencies are seen as a hedge against inflation again, which is good for the crypto markets so far. We also talked about Senator Lummis, how she's essentially challenging the DOJ's stance on private crypto wallets, challenging that everybody should have the right to, self-guard themselves within the crypto space with self-storage cold wallets, and that the government has no right to tell people you can't, or the Biden administration. The next news we talked about was the no anti-crypto agenda at the SEC. According to an ex-staff lawyer who was from the SEC, now she works at a pro-crypto law firm, came out and said the SEC is not against crypto, it's all lies. Gary Gensler loves cryptos apparently, and so on, which it's technically all lies. I don't know why or who said to her to come on live news and lie to the public that Gary Gensler is in favor of crypto. We can obviously see he's definitely in favor of crypto when it comes to Gary Gensler. He lies to a federal judge about debit box case. He goes after crypto platforms. He greenlights a public company for Coinbase and then tries to sue them into the ground. Yes, he definitely loves crypto. I can see it all along. And the next news we went through on tonight's live show was The US spot Bitcoin ETFs reports 5 straight days or 4 straight days of outflows, mostly coming out of Grayscale rather than the rest of the crypto ETFs. The next news we talked about on tonight's live show was regarding the $47 million strategic funding led by BlackRock. BlackRock funded $47 million into securities, which is a tokenization firm essentially. Now, the money did come from BlackRock, APTOS Labs, Paxos, and Circle as well. Massive more tokenization projects going on regarding BlackRock, but a few other crypto platforms joined in the funding as well. The next news we talked about tonight's live show was regarding El Salvador, how they've advanced into tokenized asset financing regarding the El Salvador hotel, Hilton Hotel that's been built, and they're tokenizing the debt where people could get, free room stays at the Hilton Hotel when they buy the tokenization. A part of that tokenization and some other benefits as well. The next news we talked about on tonight's live show was regarding the Bitcoin assets worth $175 billion secured by ETFs, countries, and companies, according to a VanEck report. 15% of the Bitcoin's total supply is being controlled by banks, essentially countries, nations, and private entities and ETFs. 15%. Now, the next news we talked about on tonight's live show was regarding the UK government and how they've published their new recent cryptocurrency report, and how the majority of the crypto payments, from 2022 to 2023, according to the Financial Conduct Authority, was mostly used for money laundering and illicit activities. The next news we talked about was the Justin Sun, how he supported meme coins in the Dubai conference and given a big speech on meme coins. And I did say there are only 3 I particularly see surviving anything thrown at them is Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Luna Sea are the only ones I see surviving out of all the meme coins out there. We also talked about the BitTovo essentially platform as well, how BitTovo and Figment are going to be offering staking services in the European markets to institutions. On this live show, we talked about that as well. And we talked about Cathie Wood's prediction on the market space and essentially how she sees the crypto space or the Bitcoin essentially going to a round figure of around $3.8 million by 2030. A lot of things we talked about tonight's live show. So if you tuned in late, that's what we talked about tonight's live show. And if you're watching this for the first time ever and you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into this live show every single night. It's called the CMF live show. The reason why I say every single night, because I'm in London, the United Kingdom, and right now it's 1:16 a.m. So this live show starts at 11:25 p.m. It's like a late crypto live show for UK citizens, but for everybody else around the world, it could be different timings. But definitely tune into this live show every single night. If you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow if you're watching on X, drop a follow if you're watching on YouTube. And this was episode 44. And every single night I do this live show. So episode 45 will be tomorrow, where we talk about more recent events that are happening around the world inside the crypto space, regarding blockchain, regarding crypto partnerships, regarding CBDCs, and we do Q&As as usual on every single live show. So before we go, let's go to the comment section as well. Mr. Live, let's go. Miles' 100 education is key and it's free. Let's go. Also, if you are new, Mexi is a fabulous exchange to learn. Yep, that's true as well. Facts. 100 Miles is the real deal. Our family thanks you every day for your knowledge and guidance. Unbelievable kind human. Shelly, thank you so much for the kind words, honestly. Is your mother okay, brother? Yes, no, she's okay. It's just routine checkup. Yeah, everything's okay. Thank you for asking. Good night, Miles and family. Great live. Thanks. Have a good one. Ian, see you tomorrow as usual as well. No problem. Good night, Miles. As always, you are fabulous. The best at explaining and honesty. Let's go. Iman, see you tomorrow sometimes as usual. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow. Orphan, see you tomorrow sometimes as usual as well. Shelly, absolute facts. Let's go, Ian. Good night, Miles and CMF. Thank you for your insights into the crypto markets. Let's go, Mike. Mike, see you tomorrow sometimes as usual as well. Good night, Professor Miles. Funky, see you tomorrow sometimes as usual as well. I hope your mom is well and good luck, Funky brother. Thank you so much. And good night, brother Miles and CMF Bill. See you tomorrow sometimes as usual as well. Take care, Miles and CMF. Have a great one. Though, let's go, Ray. Ray, see you tomorrow sometimes as usual. So I'm going to be doing the outro of this live show that I normally do, which is thank you so much to everybody that's tuned in to tonight's live show from the CMF. And if you're new, you're watching for the first time as well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like. Tune into every single night and join our amazing community of people who only want to help you out and will ask nothing in return. So, honestly, thank you so much to everybody from the CMF that tunes in every single night, for tapping on the screen on YouTube, tapping on the screen on X, for retweeting this live show on X, for expanding this live show. I will see everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. Thank you, Miles. Pierce, let's go, brother. See you tomorrow, same time as usual. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Governor Miles. Ian, see you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. See everybody tomorrow, same time as usual.